afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast. Me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda. We're off here to 1 vs 1 on Crossroads Winter. In the north, it is Kimbo fighting for the Soviet Union, Socialism, Communist Stalin, and the Red Armies. 6th Tank Corps in the south, it is who run Bartertown, fighting for the German Army, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the Sperrverbande Wolf with Osttruppen Doctrine with MG42. They're heading out, moving straight west here. Kimbo with shock rifles. We got Osttruppen, we got entrenching tools, artillery field officer, supply drop, and railway artillery with double Osttruppen bulletins and Osttruppen bulletins versus shock rifles, KV8, anti-tank and ambush tactics, shock troopers, incendiary artillery barrages, and the IS-2 heavy tank. So we got both players with doctrines, both players with an active plan. Also, as always, please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and press that bell button. Also, a big thanks to John for pledging on Patreon and supporting me via that. So, big thanks to you, John. You're part of my company here, alongside all the others who support me on Patreon as well. Of course, those who donate as well. Links to Patreon and donation links via PayPal in the video description. Anyways, back to regular scheduled programming while there's still not a lot happening here. So, we got Pioneer 74 on the west, Osttruppen bravely heading eastwards there. Contract heading eastwards there as well, just as bravely, though perhaps less bravely since they're not quite as strong. They're stronger than the Osttruppen. Got that one mixed up. And just a shot fired here. Although cover Osttruppen can usually actually fight quite well, so to get out of cover there, it's going to be much shaky. In this case, they actually got a kill, so the conscripts may actually be in a bad spot as the Osttruppen. In the west here, we got MG4 being outflanked, but the conscripts pioneers not to be seen. Osttruppen are also far removed here, so Bartertown's left flank is already falling apart. Even may win here in the east. The west has been lost for now here to the Red Army. Osttruppen, though, despite the advantageous start they had there, are seemingly struggling here quite a bit there with "You spin me a right round, baby, like round, like a round front, baby, like round, right round." I never quite got that one though. Basically, sometimes like just two optics clash and they begin spinning around there, and it gets really weird in two corpses. Yeah. Anyways, MG4 moving westwards. Got force from squad for Hood on Bartertown. Mines up here, though, quickly disrupted. Pushing for the eastern fuel pump. We also got troops moving up to the coal pond here. Kimbo looks to disrupt here and make it harder for Hood on Bartertown to establish a cohesive front line in the early game. If you can establish that, it's going to be much harder than for Kimbo to sort of disrupt it, but also just gain ground, because then Hood on Bartertown can make much more steady progress while at the same time beating Kimbo. So there you go. Conscript almost being taken out by the Osttruppen here. Close one, but looks like Kimbo's trying to get away. Fighting in the west here, we've got Osttruppen as the conscripts. Catch them here in a bad spot. Then again, already suffered casualties. The conscripts have a good chance as the Osttruppen will need more support here. Ground the point there. Overall, who run Bartertown? I feel like he's fighting a bit too scattered here versus Kimbo. Like he's just not gaining sufficient control of the field at any point here. He's overall too scattered and too unfocused, which makes it easy for Kimbo to then just sort of charge in and sort of clear out the different elements. For the Wehrmacht, it's much more about combined arms and working things together in the early game. Even with Osttruppen, if you get out a lot of troops, you still need to work them together into more cohesive force. And that I feel like is right now Bartertown's slight prickly issue. Then the west we got, on the east, conscripts is Osttruppen. Conscript up close to the Osttruppen. They get a chance for the Osttruppen. Lots of firing there, lots of shooting, lots of dying. Pushing up for the center of the Pioneer. We have as well. Shooting there. Grab the center point. We got mines up here. Seeing the western point here back here. Nothing further on. They should consider taking up soon. Telemina there. Back here in Kimbo space. We got the field of him. We got plenty of troops in need of, well, healing. MG42 on the western carve point. Eastern one being reclaimed. Lots of back and forth here so far. Osttruppen setting out there again. Osttruppen were considerably less seen on the eastern front after a certain point, because as it became more and more apparent the Germans were not exactly what you'd call winning the war, a lot of them basically decided, you know what, we'll probably take our chances with the Soviets. Of course, they'd be straight sent to Gulag afterwards, but they weren't aware of that most of the time, anyways. So yeah, but yeah, a lot of them basically just were quick to desert. So the Germans basically sent them to the western front, but also turned out they just desert to the Americans, who then sent them to the search anyway, so they ended up in the Gulag anyway. So there were some issues there, obviously. But then, there were some that fought still, and in fact fought valiantly, but a great deal of them were considerably less than reliable. So, little fun fact there. Obviously, a bunch of them were in fact basically just troops they'd taken from prisoner war camps, just told, well, either you fight for us or you die horribly, because they were not treating their Soviet prisoners of wars very well. In fact, quite the opposite. So, little note there about Osttruppen. Little note, we got Osttruppen at the west side here. Osttruppen charging in the east against the conscripts there. Back here, bunker up for who run Bartertown, grabbing the carve point, sandbags being hurled down there. You got 5 Osttruppen squads in fact out for who run Bartertown. That's a lot of Osttruppen. It's actually very rare to see someone commit to like 5 Osttruppen squads. I mean, you get a lot of infantry, you do get a lot of cheap infantry that can be easily reinforced, just kept pushing out in the field. Like, say, back now with command bugs and half track, you actually get some serious field presence, but like they do have the weaknesses. They scale not particularly well, and they also tend to get like their asses handed to them on a silver platter by any sort of remote number of elite infantry, which is what Kimbo's calling in now shock troopers. So, who run Bartertown strategy is going to hit some issues. He honestly probably been better off going for an MD-42 to back them up with additional sort of firepower that way, rather than commit to a 5th Osttruppen squad. But here we are, still good harassment, good disruption. They're both looking to cut off each other's fuel, but at the same time now they're really looking to secure their own fuel lines either. So it gets a bit awkward there as well. It gets a bit awkward. All the way, troops sitting outside, digging in there. Flare man goes off, kills Jürgen as a rocket goes straight through his skull. Eastern point secured here, shock was moving in there, and of course make their presence known there to Bartertown. Smoke grenade here. Obviously, thanks to the flare mine, he knows exactly what's there and just pops a smoke grenade. Thumbs up there to Kimbo. Flare mines, they're not just for killing people, they're actually also like for spotting what's going on. Some squads even there can't beat them, they just don't do enough damage. Shock troopers, of course, having body armor, are notably harder to kill in the game. In the actual war, while they did have body armor, that was only really for urban situations. Even then, it was only because it protected them against like 9mm parabellum, meaning pistols and submachine guns, which are notably more useful there compared to like bolt-action rifles. But technically, the body armor was not really good against bolt-action rifles or machine gun fire. So, little fun fact there. No sign of really take up there from either side. I think Cooldown Bartertown is finally taking up. Yes, indeed, we go for like to make a nice company. Flame for half text very common here with heavy Osttruppen builds. Shock troopers there going for the Osttruppen. Western Fuelman secured. Going before catching up there with the Frontovics, tearing them apart. Osttruppen squad retreating, taking heavy down for the shock troopers. Osttruppen charging in. Of course, they need to deal with the shock troopers. And again, it's going to be a bit more of a challenge here for who run Bartertown's Osttruppen. The MD-42 will help, but it technically needs to get within range. Of course, if we can't get into the range, then send the RPs around should really do some great work there for who run Bartertown. Point there secured. Pioneers can consider adding a flamethrower to deal with infantry. Another option here would be to go for the artillery field officer, just, you know, getting up. I like to make a nice company and push some light vehicles out to help push who run Bartertown. You got shock from here under cover of a smoke grenade again, lastly negating a bit the MD-42. In this case, he moved too far outside of the smoker too fast and got quickly suppressed. So lots of action here. Not a dull moment so far here between who run Bartertown and Kimbo. And again, 5 Osttruppen. I mean, again, it's less intensive in terms of like manpower being, considering they are reasonably cheap to reinforce. I don't think Osttruppen are that cheap to reinforce, or conscripts are that cheap to reinforce. And they're kind of cheap. They are kind of cheap-ish. They are not Osttruppen cheap. Yeah. But again, with some upgrades, of course, they do become cheaper. So, I mean, you can get a lot of Osttruppen and just keep reinforcing them easily. But of course, again, they scale weakly, even with a light machine gun by tier 4. They're not exactly amazing. Typically, in a longer running game, you want stuff to like help carry the fight. Like usually Panzer Grenadiers. Alright, Osttruppen through the east here. Going for tier 3 straight away there. Hoodlum Bartertown's kind of aggressive planning mine here versus Kimbo. Shock troops setting out again versus the Osttruppen. Mines going off here. Units taking casualties. Pioneers retreating. Lots of action here. Lots of shooting. And lots of guns. Osttruppen cross here towards the east. MG4 in a bit of a tight spot. Further denim Osttruppen after, you know, the whole, a lot of them surrendering on the western front as well. They basically got switched to what's known as the Hilfswillige, or just helpers. At which point they basically just sort of took over supply duties and stuff like that behind the rear lines, leaving up more Germans to the front line. So a little fun fact there. More shock troops out there for Kimbo. Bit of shooting there. Osttruppen have routed in the east. Topolmako up there for who run Bartertown. Another smoke grenade there. He's probably going to try and rush out on Ostrin. I mean, he has the bulletins forward. He's actually not far ahead, and Kimbo's interesting enough been taking up either himself, so he may, of course, be quite ready for this. They probably should be anticipating it. His supply drop could assist Houdon Barton getting that out a bit faster. Well, obviously, of course, does that. And before they're tearing into the shock troopers. Grenade. There's a unit heavy cover, it's not going to be that effective. I got the car front fuel flow there, open up here for Houdon Barton. More shock troopers moving in. MD42 dealing with a flank here, but of course that means he's kind of exposed on the other flank to the shock troopers. And we can see that Houdon Barton just decides to retreat rather than keep fighting this engagement, which is quickly turning tits out for him. Counter against the Osttruppen here by the car front there. Kimbo steadily gaining control of the map once more here. Punch going to do for Houdon Barton, very nice pick. One thing Houdon Barton could have done and usually want to do if you're going for an Osttruppen doctrine is lay down a lot of mines. He's laid down one pair of Tellarns, but for example, lots of S-mines can also be a good idea. I mean, the thing about an Osttruppen heavy strategy is, of course, you tend not to spend a lot of munitions because there's no rifle grenades to fire and there's no light machine guns to add. So typically you'll find yourself with a significant surplus of munitions, which you then use to invest into mines. And that is the thing here, I think, where Houdon Barton definitely, I think, slipped out a bit. He has not been mining at all except for that one Tellermine. Again, Tellermines are great, but you usually want more than one, and typically you definitely want some S-mines down as well. So, bit of an oversight there, but Houdon Barton, bit of an oversight. And of course, upgrading your Pioneers is also a really good idea, like flamethrowers tend to be a very good investment in your Pioneers. But there you go, Punch going to be out here for Houdon Barton and the Sperrverband der Wolf. You got Shocks coming up, need to have the Punch there to deal with them. Geballte Ladung. Shot fired, smoke grenade off. Very good. Again, pretty much negates the machine gun for some time, allowing him to gain the upper hand there. Thumbs up to Kimbo. Good handling there of the smoke grenades. Machine gun there, still waiting for the smoke to clear up. But yeah, some S-mines here and some S-mines here, for example, have been a great investment for Houdon Barton versus Kimbo. Particularly, I mean, considering the fact that Kimbo's only got one engineer squad and those are flamethrowers, and he's going to have no minesweepers, so we'll have to expend more manpower and munitions to then be able to clear it. So again, another smoke grenade here. Kimbo just keeping it up and just further punishing, I think, Houdon Barton again for slightly inactive machine gun play. But also just a lack of mines, since mines don't care about smoke. He's very close to the Osttruppen with still some time to go. The fuel harassment has been having quite impactful here against Houdon Barton, and certainly highlights. Again, I feel like just Houdon Barton's lack of mines, and I think lack of focus there. He's getting a bit more focus now, but at this point, he's at this point conceded most of the map here to Kimbo, without really much to show for it, to be honest. Again, as you can see, the Osttruppen strategy has some particular gaps, and one of them is just basically loads of elite infantry. They absolutely just punish Osttruppen heavy strategy, since the Osttruppen perform quite poorly versus them. Does make the shock troopers, guardsmen, rangers, paratroopers. The Osttruppen are generally going to have a very bad time against them. This is probably again where another MU4 troop can be very helpful there around the 5th Osttruppen squad, since again they can at least somewhat better handle it. So the force comes in for Houdon Barton, a bit flawed. And he's only just 4 fuel per minute now. 4 fuel, like, it's going to take him almost forever to get out of Osttruppen now. Meanwhile, there, Kimbo's finally trying to take up. Definitely sloppy play there, though. He could easily have that up much, much sooner. So, honestly, that's not quite great play there by Kimbo either. Thumbs down. Thumbs down. Actually, he could have a mechanized armor company up some time ago. Be pushing for T-34-76s by now, so definitely not amazing play there by Kimbo. He might have just been a bit caught up here by all the Osttruppen and just been having fun, but he could easily had something going there sooner. At this point, he might actually that is Houdon Barton bit off, just calling in a supply drop to get out the extra fuel munitions. It's also just another machine gun plus a pack to help slow down Kimbo. Tank chain commander up there for Kimbo. At this point, though, Kimbo may just end up going for the IS-2 because he's so close to it anyways. In fact, that might have been his plan all along. Osttruppen is very close here for Houdon Barton. He's finally got the fuel flowing again, but, you know, it's really been taking some time there. Machine gun also getting a bit more active. Great, needs more mines still. He's going to need Tellermines aplenty because otherwise the IS-2, whatever heavy tank here that Kimbo's got planned, is going to roll over him. There we go. Supply drop inbound here for Houdon Barton as well. MD-34, Pack 40, and of course fuel and munitions. And there definitely needs to be more mines here for Houdon Barton. There you go. Tellermines, Tellerminen, very good. In the fire, you've got Osttruppen here as the conscripts. You need more support. There isn't. Osttruppen there hit a mine. Need to retreat in face of the shock troops there from Kimbo. Yeah, Telemine's good. S-mine's here. Be a very good idea, I think, as well. Osttruppen almost done. Need to create, of course, these guns very fast. Get them going here versus Kimbo. Mechanized Armor Company done. He's like, in terms of command points, incredibly close to the IS-2. Fuel-wise, he's not too far off either. Manpower-wise, it's probably a bit longer. And with the Osttruppen, certainly going to put some bleed on him. But beyond that, I mean, Kimbo is pretty close. So definitely, I think, a bit of an indictment here of Bartertown's early strategy here versus Kimbo. Osttruppen builds aren't bad, but they can be tricky, and they do require you to, like, you know, have strong understanding of your machine guns, I find. And, you know, remember to use your munitions a bit more actively here than what Bartertown did versus Kimbo. Reserves mobilized there for Kimbo. Flak Panzer taking into with his 37mm flak cannon. Back here, troops reinforcing. Of course, got the Osttruppens able to grab packs, and MG34 should do that, in fact, right about now. Plus, grab, of course, these. Prepare for more armor here versus Kimbo. Back here, troops reinforcing. Got 411s of 3 on 9. Using the Pioneers to crew these up. I suppose that makes sense in some way. But, I mean, the Osttruppen are just cheaper. There we go. Constant Defiant retreating in the face of the Flak Panzer. Fear. Osttruppen moving about aggressively here. They want to deal with those conscripts here. Looks like he's pushing for the copper on their Kimbo. Not bad. More mines would, of course, be great here for who run Bartertown. There we go. Machine gun good to go. Need to get that gun. Of course, get the Pack 40 going as well. Like to make a nice company. Clearly, he's expecting to go for more Pack 40s than that one he's airdropped in. Got the car points. Going to help slow down Kimbo a bit. But Kimbo is still very much on track towards getting an IS-2 tank very soon. And it's going to give Huda and Bartertown a bit of a headache. Looks like he did manage to wipe there pretty good for Bartertown. Bit of bad luck there for Kimbo. Big push into the west. I know he's taking a deeper flank path. There's actually giving away that we're going too close to the fuel point. They might be unintentional. Flak Panzer's going to be there soon. Machine gun's not reacting to this. Definitely been another start there by Bartertown. Assault continues. Trouble shock troopers pushing the machine gun back immediately. Defended for static. Graham needs some fuel point there with the Osttruppen. Graham the point here close to Kimbo's space as well. Shock troopers find the body armor falling very short here versus the Flak Panzer. Cut off point hit. Machine gun moving up. Troops are healing forcing. Graham the Pack 40 as well, I imagine, in a few moments. Controlling the fire here. Pioneer second man loss. And there you go. IS-2 heavy tank out at the 18-minute mark for Kimbo there early. Though again, part of that is just a less than great start here from Bartertown, to put it mildly, here versus Kimbo. Again, less than efficient map control. Less efficient force compensation. Of course, just Kimbo hard cutting it with the shock troopers. I mean, there's been a lot more Osttruppen strategies at the moment, so they also become more hazardous. Of course, people sort of remember all the hard counters, and they just include going for a bunch of elite infantry. Since again, I repeat, Osttruppen do not scale well. And it's one of the reasons why Osttruppen strategies, after a certain point, then just recede back into the shadows, as people remember that. Because really, the way that Osttruppen scale very poorly is very much the main weakness of any Osttruppen-related strategy. I mean, you absolutely have to get a significant edge on your opponent with them, or it becomes very troublesome. And that's kind of the situation Bartertown is now. It's supposed to be able to get an 18-minute IS-2, because again, he was not able to leverage the... Oh, no! He moved the Osttruppen across his own telemine, the IS-2 set it off. And here's the thing about the game engine. If an explosion sets off like something like a mine or other explosive, it amplifies the mine's explosion. So you pretty much just turn that into like a thermonuclear mine and just wipe the Osttruppen. Almost got the shock troopers there. Sturmgeschützstraße on the way for the Bartertown. Very good pick here. This is the IS-2 heavy tank. But yeah, be careful around your own mines, in particular when there's a heavy tank on the field, because otherwise you might find yourself short in infantry in a very explosive manner. Stu 3G almost done there. IS-2 advancing, direct hitting on the Osttruppen Flak Panzer with its 122mm gun. MG42 firing with rather pointlessly at the IS-2. Pack 40 setting up here. A bit late to the front line, but there goes shot fire. Bounced off the IS-2's heavy armor. Stuke 3G done. Just another bounce. If he can land a damage engine on it. Pack and the Stuke should have a chance of taking out the punishing Kimbo there. In fact, for a very greedy IS-2 push. There we go, damage engine. Shots keep bouncing. They're really lucky there for Kimbo. That many shots have gone bouncing for the Pack 40. I mean, wow, that is some incredible luck there for Kimbo's IS-2. That is really just bouncing everything. There we go. Down to less than half health. Looking a bit better now there for Bartertown. But really, that IS-2 has bounced some shots. Just being pinned down here. Needs to add some insane armor piercing rounds. Definitely seem to know a side here by Bartertown. It's certainly something some players can forget. But insane armor piercing rounds is a really powerful ability in your machine guns. Don't want to be using like actively against your opponent's infantry. You can absolutely just put the brakes on an enemy assault and just tear it apart. Plus, it just helps your machine gun gain veterancy faster. So there's just numerous benefits to using insane armor piercing rounds. Because it's not just penetration the machine gun gets, it's damage. And that damage also works as infantry quite nicely. Pack sending out the Osttruppen as well there. He's going to need another Stuke to have a better chance versus the IS-2. But I really got to say, that IS-2 got lucky. That bounced a lot of shots. Even like close range versus the Pack, it just bounced repeatedly. Oh, they got the Cop 189 Kimbo resources again. As to they're wrecking some cover, at least attempting to. Comes there was the shock troopers. Their Sturmgewehrs laying down accurate, well-laid fire against the advancing Sturmovix and halting them in their advance. Also there with 13 kills, halfway to 22. Stuke should add a Pillman machine gun down the top, grab the northern victory point. Moving in there as well with the Osttruppen. Nice trimming about. Console setting out. We got 18 kills on them. IS-2 himself, it's 4 kills. Shot fired. Kills some poor bastard. Stuke shoots, misses. Another supply drop there for Bartertown. Means another pack, another MG34. Not a bad idea though. IS-2 that looks like it's going to go straight here for Bartertown's base, avoiding the main force. Thumbs up there to Kimbo. A bit risky, but Bartertown does not anticipate this move, does not mind any other sort of surprises here for Kimbo. Pounds on the fire from the IS-2. Direct hit there. Kills Puff Heinz. Bunker could in theory go down into the IS-2. T-54 on the way there for Kimbo. Armor is not reacting to this at the moment. Stuke moving in. They're going to probably try and flank against the IS-2. Bartertown floating a ton of munitions. You really should be investing those into mines if possible here versus Kimbo. The IS-2 Stuke, they're flanking. Very good. Shot bounced. Again. There we go. Penetrating hit. They're also getting close enough to get off of Panzerfaust against the IS-2, damaging the engine. And now Kimbo's actually managed to back his IS-2 into a corner where the Germans might just be able to take it out here with the packs and the Stuke. T-54 is inbound. He still needs to cover the flank here, though, in case. Bartertown it is. IS-2 are getting hammered by heavy armor piercing round 5. There go. The IS-2's down. Kimbo's hubris met its nemesis in the German Panzerkanone and Sturmgeschütz. Building there, taking heavy flak fire. Shock does bring in there, close to 52, 10 kills. MG34 holding up there, alongside the MG42. Of course, got the third machine gun. Then needs to get some support up here for the Osttruppen. Now need to blitz it away. Back here, packs on the move, doing some neat repairs, but could also be pressed into service already though. We got 411 versus 91. In this regard, the Bartertown has a huge victory point either with Kimbo. Massive. In fact, I'm surprised Kimbo's not actually got a closer situation in terms of victory points with him and Bartertown. MG14 with shock troops up north, need armor support up there now, and the pack support. Stuke being repaired first, good. Should definitely consider another Stuke though. Machine gun under fire from the T-34 76. Packs nearby. Forming up a mini pack front, which was a German tactic where basically just had like a commander designated to command all the anti-tank in the sector, and then he'd designate the targets, and then they'd sort of open up at the same time. That with increasing chance of immediately destroying as many tanks as possible and minimizing incoming fire, because an issue before that was basically just like, you know, shoot. It would be a bit miscoordinated, and then of course it would turn fire and get your units wiped out or anti-tank units cleared out, because anti-tank guns were quite vulnerable to tanks. Unlike what company shows, where anti-tank guns are surprisingly safe from a lot of tanks, in the actual war it was usually one shot and you had no anti-tank gun. Mine goes off there, shock troop was routed. Osttruppen there very, very close eventually too. Good chance of getting wiped behind the ace shock troopers, but no. They're allowed to get away there by Bartertown, who can very, very soon go for another Stug, and definitely should go for it. T-4 forces looks going to make a raid here on Bartertown space. Very good. Need to retreat these forces and healed up and all that. Punch on his squad. Definite blow there to Bartertown. Good raid there for Kimbo. Bad news, of course, for Bartertown. Plane ammunition being floated. No mines from Bartertown. Except again, those 2 telemines laid down. Definite, I would say, mistake there by Bartertown versus Kimbo. It's definitely making it easy for Kimbo just to move where he wants to. And at this point, with all the raids in the space entrance there, he should strongly consider... Oh, there we go, better 2. But he should strongly consider some mines to cover up the space entrance, because at this point, Kimbo's very much repeatedly shown he has a definite interest in that part of the base. I'm not entirely sure he retreats from the Osttruppen so fast that he actually could allow Kimbo to take out his Osttruppen. In fact, that's what's going to happen here. Definite mistake, I think, there by Bartertown. Gave Kimbo their free shot or 2 on the Osttruppen. Grab the center here. Grab points up here. Should lay down a bunch of telemines and also consider some S-mines here and there. But in particular, again, around here is a definite need for mines. Plus, he needs another Stug. Back here, healing enforcement for Kimbo and the Red Army. Stug being held back for repairs. Very, very, very close eventually too. Packs being held back. Another fun fact about the pack front tactics, the Soviets pretty much just straight up copied it and used it against the Germans, who were then forced to come up with a counter tactic, which is known as the Panzerkeil, which is an armoured cone, or armoured wedge, I guess. So, little fun fact there. And highlights sort of how the way, you know, both sides, they're on the Eastern Front, pretty much just learn from each other and stole ideas and tactics and equipment from each other, or copied them, which tend not to get talked about a lot. Like, there's the typical about how the Germans, you know, copied the T-34 design with the Panther, but beyond that, a lot of the other stuff that happened tends to get talked about a lot less. For example, the Soviets, for example, were actually pretty impressed by the Stug and its design, so they actually, you know, made copies of it of their own, like the S-35. So, fun fact. Lots of stuff like that in war on the Eastern Front. But again, typically less talked about. Front T-34 charging head here, close to efficiency 2-ish. Also awfully close to the German anti-tankers, machine level swapped up by artillery fire and the T-34s. Panther 4 ready. Western Frontier falling a bit apart here for Bartertown again. I think Kimbo, yeah, it looks like he's going up for another IS-2 heavy tank here versus Bartertown. He's probably feel like he's got a good feel of what his opponent's up to, and basically just going to destroy it. Almost got the conscript there, close to death, but no. Once more, Bartertown allows them to get away there under his nose. I feel like Bartertown here has a slight tendency of allowing Kimbo too many times to get away with things. Definitely a mistake there that can bite you in the arse in the longer match. Banker up there again to replace the one destroyed by Kimbo. Certainly a pattern in a lot more recent matches, but there's been increased, you know, tendency of just to like Allied players destroy Wehrmacht medic bunkers, which is not something I've seen a lot consistently happen. Otherwise, for quite some time, but now just these, you know, weeks, there's been a lot more medic bunkers just being destroyed inside the enemy base. The German base, that is, of course. I mean, you'll rarely see a medic bunker for something inside the Serb base. I mean, obviously it's going to get destroyed, but it's also just an incredibly ballsy move then. I don't know if you can actually build a bunker inside your opponent's space, but you could, and someone did. That'd be definitely just a Absolutely stuff you move. Pioneers around the east. Osttruppen doing what they can, but against the T-34-6, there's not really a lot they can do. I mean, you're using Osttruppen to stop a T-34, you might as well use toilet paper. It's about as useful. No sign of additional armor. Stug Panther going for the T-34. Still no mines here. I'm really surprised at this. I mean, this is the third time he raids his opponent's, base like this and gets some kills. And Bartertown still hasn't laid down a single telemine there. Definite oversight there by Bartertown. Definite oversight. He's floating a lot of munitions. There you go. Second nice shot there. Stug gaining better 2 Panther down. Double field gun calls really, really nasty. But yeah, Bartertown needs to work on these. He also needs more infantry. He's done against 2 Osttruppen squads now from 5. His opponent meanwhile has 3 conscript squads and 2 shock trooper squads. Bartertown's force is really starting to hit some issues. His force composition definitely seems to be one of the recurring issues for him. Like he's struggling sort of having a strong force composition, whereas Kimbo has a pretty good one. Stug been repaired. He's gonna need some serious armor and probably more Stugs to deal with the eyes too. Final round here, we got Osttruppen as the shock troopers. Osttruppen need to retreat soon. IS-2 channeling into the packs. Target weak point here is going to be great. Target's a weak point. Target's a weak point. Also seems like Bartertown. Oh, there you go. Abilities. I'm about to say struggles with them, but there you go. About to take out the IS-2. No, it gets away despite target weak point. Oh, the rubbish like that. In this case, though, Bartertown could have pursued the IS-2 with the Stug, then actually had a chance to take it out, then also giving the pack another chance to shoot at it. Again, Bartertown, I feel like it's a bit too passive. And really, being passive with the Wehrmacht is bad. Again, Relic tells you they're late game defensive faction. They're lying or they don't know how the Wehrmacht works. Either way, you need to be an aggressive faction. You need to look for every opportunity to exploit and just kick the door in. And repeatedly, Barton has shown whenever the door is shown as maybe being kickable, he just knocked politely and asked if he can come in. That's not the German way. That is not the German way. The German way is always to kick in the door if there's an opportunity to actually kick it in. And every single time, again, he just knocks politely, and Kimbo goes no and pulls away, opportunity. So definitely a mistake there by Bartertown. Definite mistake there. And again, it's a repeat one. Again, another base rate, and there's still no telemine there. Definitely needs to be some improvement there by Bartertown soon. He in fact charges his Stug right into the field guns, which are waiting for him. Almost got the T-34 and loses the Stug. Also lost the pack. He actually called in the field gun. Got the T-34, but arguably Kimbo got a lot more of that T-34 there before Barton was able to stop it. He got 240 versus 55. He still has a victory point leader with Kimbo, but he still is in many other ways trailing behind Kimbo and very fast. More fire there. He's going to need another Stug. He needs to recruit that pack 40 here versus Kimbo, whose IS-2 is now good to go once more. Panther's and double field guns. Need to get away there. And before controlled up here. Still no use in sending armor piercing rounds at any point in time here by Bartertown. That's a definite thumbs down from me. Really want to use the incendiary armor piercing rounds if possible. And again, they are very good. Pack shoots, bounces. Penetrating here. Panzerfaust off. In fact, Panzerfaust seems to be the only ability Bartertown consistently uses. Every other ability just seems to be forgotten here at Bartertown. I mean, he still has a chance, I think, of getting back into this. He still has a victory point lead. He still has a reasonable amount of machine guns and all that. But I feel like Bartertown is just playing this way too passively. Field gun's still waiting in ambush. Tricky. Panzerfaust there. Pack shoot misses. Needs to get the Panther to safety. Great hits of the ambushed field guns. Calf 1 lost again. Osttruppen on there for Bartertown. I can understand there's all the infantry and such, but there's the IS-2 that Osttruppen is definitely going to encounter some technical issues. Sandbags here by the center victory point. Very good. Kimbo adding a KV-8 to help deal with the pack. he still hasn't recruited the other one. Bartertown. I'm also sensing Bartertown might just be stressed out by all of Kimbo's attacks at this point. He's just trying to catch up all the time, and it's causing him to overlook an otherwise, I would say, series of, straightforward solutions. MD-34 setting up there. Osttruppen charging in. Fuel point rendered neutral once more. Finally crew that Pack 40. Took him a while there. Took him a while. And there you go. Flak Panzer there ready for Bartertown and the German army. The Sperrverband der Wolf. KV-8 flamethrower tank, they're almost done for Kimbo. By 1944-45 though, they were replaced by T-34s modified to be flamethrower tanks. Which in the case of the T-34 meant they just had a flamethrower instead of the whole machine gun. Alright, KV-8 out there. Still falling back, 14 kills, close to veterancy 1. Pioneers was the IS-2. Heavy cover proves to be a lifesaver there. Far longer than it lasts, obviously. KV-8 so far not moving. Pioneer's routed as the cover finally gives up. I mean, it's a lifesaver, but it can only last for so long against the IS-2's 120mm gun. There you go. Double field gun barrage in the Pack 40 going for the veteran one. Directed. Wipes the pack and almost may in fact be destroying it. IS-2 moving ahead, taking off damage engine. Probably a pack Telemann that got set off there. Or Telemann just mine got set off there. KV-8 moving ahead for now. The exposed Pack 40. Panzer 4 cannot stop the KV-8. So right now, Bartertown situation is just further falling apart here. Pack wiped here by Kimbo's KV-8 flamethrower tank. Osttruppen doing nothing. Infantry slowly moving eastwards. Machine gun remains in place. And it's not a good thing when, the machine guns, which at this point seem to make up a good deal of Bartertown's force, almost half of it, are just doing nothing. Comparatively, Kimbo's using pretty much everything in his force actively versus his opponent. And again, Bartertown's just got 3 machine guns just parked at one spot and doing nothing. Definitely not great there with Bartertown either. Not great. Almost got the KV-8. The IS-2 rolling forwards there for the Red Army. For the glory of Stalin. Actually, I believe in Trotsky. Get him. Oh, no, I didn't mean it. I mean, place Lenin. Stalin. Yeah. Also moving about here for Bartertown. Flanking up behind the shock troopers here. Finally getting a bit more active, a bit more aggressive, but at this point it does risk being a bit too late here for Bartertown to make a difference. We've got a Pack 40 on the way to fix up the Panzer 4. Pack 40 number something there done for Bartertown. We've got 240 versus 53. I mean, he could still win this in victory points. But I think beyond that, Bartertown's chance of winning this in any other way are very diminished versus Kimbo at the moment. Pack 40 moving out. Panzer 4 flanking the field guns. Might have a shot there with, some proper support. But there is no proper support nearby. Now flanking the IS-2. I guess there's a chance of taking out the IS-2. They of course need to cover out the field guns. Good hit there, good hit. Artillery called in, incendiary artillery. Prevents the Pack 4 from using up, catch up with the IS-2 there, I think. Field guns moving up, they're going to take out the Panzer 4 if he's not quick to get out of there. Not a bad set of maneuvers here by Bartertown, but I just feel like it's a bit too little too late. But this is the sort of stuff he should have been doing much sooner with in terms of being active and aggressive, rather than just poking at Kimbo from time to time. You got 240 versus 53. Pack 4 needs to get to safety here. Okay, they're being hauled back to base at a very slow pace. Panzer 4. Oh, hits a mine. Got mining there by Kimbo. And again, highlights just utilities and mines. He just highlights again how Bartertown kind of dropped the ball in not mining more. And there you go. That Panzer 4 is toast. There you go. Bartertown's remaining Panzer IV is kaput. He's got 233 versus Kimbo's 53 points. He's got a flak Panzer, but that's obviously not going to do anything against the IS-2, and I'm not sure why I didn't coordinate with the Panzer to deal with the field guns. Again, feels like another mistake there at Bartertown. Certainly, those mistakes have been steadily cropping up throughout the match versus Kimbo. Versus Kimbo, I think, has been playing a much safer match in a lot of ways, so still there's obviously been some flaws on his side, but it's just, when they were pretending with them, Bartertown again just never looked to punish or exploit them. Hell, he never tried to look for any mistakes Kimbo made to, like, then, you know, punish him for them. So while Barton again, I think, had some good moves and again played quite well in the early game, in the end he just couldn't like tie together into a more cohesive strategy. Ended up, I think, playing a bit awkwardly there versus Kimbo. I mean, theoretically he could still turn this around, but it's just, I'm not really seeing it at the moment how Bartertown could seriously turn this around. Kimbo has a much larger force than he's more resources on, you know, hold. His force composition is better, he's got more infantry, whereas Bartertown right now has only a single Osttruppen squad. And he's just using his elements better, whereas again, Bartertown repeatedly has just machine guns doing zip. Nada, silch. Bupkis. Counter there being torn apart by the Austrian. Pack 4 about to get wiped out by the Frontovix. Machine gun finding something, and again, as you might notice any armor piercing rounds. Stuke halfway done. Black Panther there getting knocked out the anti-tank guns. Another below the Bartertown, another bunker going up. He's actually lost quite a few medic bunkers. And he still hasn't mined up this spot. IS-2 charging in for the glory of the Red Army. Stalling. Charging on the MG-42, they're forcing it to retreat as numerous of its members get blown to bits there by the IS-2's heavy tank. And down it goes. Stuke ready, Pack 40 there at the field as well there, go immediately destroying the machine gun there with the 3 divisional field guns. We got 198 versus 53. And there you go, we got the OF-471 fragmentation shell. Stunning up the Stuke, almost taking out the Pack 40, IS-2 getting back into in the process. Panther fast off, fails to penetrate the IS-2's armor, wipes the Osttruppen. We got 46 kills there, vetted 2 on the IS-2 heavy tank. That pack's about to go down. Bartertown has 2 machine guns, a Pioneer squad, and the Stuke left. And that's it, really. Ooh, miss. That's pretty lucky there for Bartertown, but at this point, it's very much GG. Like, his base is being shattered here by Kimbo. He's barely got anything left. Like, I don't think there's any way you could actually stage a comeback at this point. Short of just Kimbo retreating all of his units to the base and allowing him to just win on the victory points, which seems very unlikely. There you go, Bartertown surrenders. Lost there. GG, game over. Again, Bartertown really had a strong start, failed to really capitalize on it. He went for too many Osttruppen, not enough machine guns. And I all think just also played too loosely, not enough focus there on it, which allowed Kimbo to just easily find weaknesses and exploit them. Plus at times, again, whenever Kimbo made a mistake, Bartertown just never punished it. He was too passive, he was too inactive. Plus, there's just also times when, again, like, there was just like a mindset about having plenty of munitions, so that further just, you know, compounded the issues. So, hope you enjoyed this match, though. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell a friend, share a family, but don't tell your enemy. There's some pearl links and cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.